Yo, what is going on, people? Guns blazing back at it again. A new nerf notification is in the news, so let's take a quick look and then let's discuss some of these upcoming changes. It's a pretty short list of nerfs. First nerf is on beatdown. This is the only skill nerf. Beatdown will now only power up level 5 or higher monsters, so even if you have level 5 monsters, your level 4 and lower monsters will not get the beatdown boost. As for the actual card limits, we got Dyna limited to 1, we got Dampa limited to 2, and Amazonas Baby Tiger limited to 2 as well. Okay, before I really start QQing, let's look at what they did right with these nerfs first. We got a faster nerf schedule, so the nerfs are gonna hit between August 21 and August 24. This is a huge step up from that one time, I believe, when they announced the Ninja/Cyber Angel nerf. It was like, hey, here's a nerf, but you know, just grind through one more month of people abusing the OP decks before we actually nerf anything. But for this nerf, it's only going to take about a week, so for those of you that are tired of the current meta right now, just tough it out a little bit longer and the game's going to be a little bit better. Another good thing about these nerfs is that they hit fur hires pretty reasonably. So it's kind of sad that Beatdown is going to get nerfed just because of fur hires, and then every other deck that benefits from it is going to get a little hit as well. But I don't think this is a dead skill by any means. It still does what it's meant to do, which is like wall breaking, getting over monsters that are tied. This nerf was really intended to get rid of those cases where, for example, someone summons a Dyna and they have 2 smaller monsters, and that one Dyna is providing 900 damage worth of attack points, which usually seals the deal. Then you got Dyna limited to 1. I don't think this is gonna matter as much as people think. It will prevent people from doing the Dyna lock now, but if we're talking practically, Dyna lock doesn't even show up in that many fur hire matches. Usually one Dyna is good enough. Although it's true that there is less of a chance that you open up with them, and then you'll have to probably use your beat search for them if you want to get them out. The Danpa nerf's pretty good. I like this because Danpa was a very problematic card. It could just win duels on its own if you open up with it early. You get rid of a key monster or key face-up card and you just go for game with it. Semi-limit again means you won't open with it as often, and also shares the list with like enemy controller, meaning that if you're running double Danpa, guess what? No econs for you. Some might argue that these nerfs are pretty small, and I agree that individually these nerfs aren't that hard, but collectively it limits fur hire's consistency and power pretty substantially. It might just be a fair nerf, but I don't want to skip to conclusion just yet. For all we know, people might just switch to ties that binds and then completely ignore this beatdown nerf, but even then, that's a pretty huge step down from the original beatdown. Those were the good things about this nerf. Now I'm gonna move on to what I think Konami missed out on and what I would have liked to see getting nerfed, but they didn't nerf it. First of all, yup, Treacherous Skills Hole. I hate this card with a passion. I would have liked to see this card get limited to either 0 or 1 copy. A lot of people might disagree with this and even think that I'm a wild one for even suggesting it in the first place, but Treacherous, to be honest, is such a problematic and coin flippy card that should have never been introduced into Duel Links in the first place. 1 for 2 is just too strong for Duel Links. It's almost like this card is in a tier of its own. People are putting 2, even 3 in every deck, regardless of the condition, and regardless of even if their deck already has a bunch of traps. But guess what? It still works out, because even if you only use 1 of those 2 or 3 trap holes that you have in your deck, as long as it's used in the right time, its impact might be enough to win you the duel alone. And again, a lot of people may disagree about this, but regardless, I think something really needs to be done about this card because it pretty much ruins Duel Links, in my opinion, and here's why. Even if this card gets limited to 1 copy, it's still going to be extremely frustrating, because when there's only 1 copy, the obvious read based on probability is that you shouldn't play around Treacherous Trap Hole. You know, there's only 1 copy available in any given deck. So usually the best thing to do is go aggressive, utilize more than one of your monster zones, but there's always going to be that one lucker dog that has it in their starting hand, and then you pretty much get punished and auto lose for making the optimal play. And that's something you don't want to experience in, for example, a rank up match. It just feels bad. And there's a lot of games that are won or lost on 1 Treacherous alone and literally nothing else. No other cards matter in the duel. All that mattered was someone opened with Treacherous, killed 2 monsters, and that's enough for game. I don't know about you, but not only does losing to just 1 Treacherous feel horrible, but even winning with it doesn't give that much satisfaction because, you know, what did I even do to deserve that win? I drew my Treacherous, you didn't, I win. It might be satisfying the first few times until you realize that it's just really shallow and uninteractive gameplay. Duel Links is already so coin flip simulator as it is. It doesn't need this extra element of randomness that can shaft you at any given time. You know, nobody dies a virgin anymore because Treacherous Trap Hole screws us all. The next thing I would have wanted to see on this list of nerfs is an actual Amazonas nerf. A real one. Like really, out of everything in Amazonas, this little douchebag right here was the problem? Wow! This nerf barely hits Amazonas. I'm talking it does almost next to nothing. A slap on the wrist, a little love tap if you will. You wanna know the real problem, my boys? This card right here, Amazonas skill slot. I think they should have limited this to one copy. It's already too accessible with Princess, and it's like, oh, you deal with one? Oh, I'm sorry. I already have the other one too. Oh, you dealt with both? Rip, now you don't have anything to deal with my 30 other traps, hehe XD. This card on its own limits deck diversity in the meta so hard because there's so many decks that just go, welp, you got your onslaught, GG, I lost. And I said it before, but I'll say it again. This card on its own makes Amazonas autopilot AF. People don't even think when they play this deck. You literally play this card and then the deck plays itself. The only decisions Amazonas players really have to make are whether they should rotate their lips or bob their head up and down faster when they're making sweet love to Konami's long schlong so that they can keep avoiding the real nerfs. Oh, but guns, wouldn't limiting onslaught to one nerf Amazonas is too hard? Not even close, dude. All it does is give them an actual weakness, like all decks should have, and forces them to actually have an alternate win condition other than get onslaught, play onslaught, suck money off, and win the game. Honestly, at this point, you don't even need a brain to hit King of Games anymore. All you need is a mouth, if you know what I mean. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say about these nerfs. Might be a little salty, might be a little biased, but I'm just telling you what's on my mind. Enjoy the rest of the clips, guys. Have yourselves a good one, and this is Guns Blazing, signing out. There you go. Okay. Kinda sucks. Use your trap, bro. Nice. Oh, so scared. Cause he has Holy Guard, so it's not quite not game yet. Holy Guard is a problem. Yeah, I can't hit Queen after too. Did I just call the Chalice? Oh boy. Oh boy. So that's 21 plus 500. 25 plus 5 in the damage step, so 65. Haha! Beat Dino right off the bat, and Wiz. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, we got that Mage Power, baby. Mmm. Okay. Pretty good spot to be in. Donpa wrecks me though. That's annoying.
I caught you. I flip over my face down card. My trap activates.
Do it for your own duels. The hell are these guys suggesting? Chain Canadia into Mirror Wall? Hell? Okay, we might have a small chance here. So that's 29. I think that's game. Maybe. Let's see if it's enough. I think it is. Uh-oh. That's it, unless he has an Ebola. Woo!
Downtown we let it go. Sunset high and our bodies low. Blood rush in a hazy glow. My hands, your bones. Loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. High clap, we skip a beat. Count 1, 2, 3. And don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between.